I cannot offer you a formula for success, but I can offer you a formula for failure. Please, everybody.
Welcome to Padayon, a Cebu Business Month podcast where we celebrate the brightest minds in the country. I am your host, Harold Vinci. Before we dive in, be sure to follow Padayon Podcast on our socials. That's YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Don't forget to follow CBM and the Cebu Chamber of Commerce and Industry social media pages as well. For this episode, we will be getting up close and personal with one of the time-tested telecommunications companies in the Philippines, Eastern Communications. Joining us is Eastern Communications Vice President and Chief Revenue and Innovation Officer, Engineer Edsel Paglinawan. Hi, Engineer. Thank you for coming to Cebu. I heard you just flew in from Manila for this event.
It's our pleasure, Harold. Thank you. Thank you for having us here.
What was the first thing you told yourself when you woke up this morning?
I pray.
You pray.
I pray, and part of my daily activity is to complete my 8-kilometer run.
Wow.
It's not very easy for me to do it in one go. I'm close to 50 already, so I have to divide it.
Yeah.
I take my first 3 kilometers in the morning, and I just finish the last 5 kilometers at night.
Oh, wow. That's something unique now because people do it usually in one go.
I need to eat. I want to eat, so I really have to burn. And
yeah. Any favorite food? Like, what's your guilty pleasures for that or something?
Not really a foodie. I can eat any, and I actually cook for my own food also for myself.
Yeah.
And as a person living single, living solo, I cook usually during weekends for my food for the whole week.
So you do like a meal prep thing.
Yeah.
I hope you don't mind, Edsel, no? But when I found out I was interviewing you, I actually Googled your name. And when it popped out na you have an Instagram page, wala, I hope you don't mind if I'll share this. It's Pinoy Diver.
Pinoy Diver.
Yeah, tell me more about diving. Were you into diving or into beach? Did you grow up like here in Cebu where the beaches are, or did you grow up somewhere else? What made you go into that?
I'm originally from Mindoro. My dad's from Mabini, Anilao. Although that time, I didn't really have so much interest in diving until one of my bosses is an American guy. He was the one who introduced me diving here in the Philippines, right? That was around 20 years ago. So since then, and especially during pandemic, it's been almost always after Friday work, heading down to Anilao, then spend my Saturday diving for 3 to 4 dives. Get back to Manila Saturday night. Sunday's gotta be my rest.
So that's Anilao, Batangas.
Anilao, Batangas, yes.
So all of those pictures, took a look, the manta rays or the rays, the sharks and everything, that's all in the Philippines.
No, not all. Many of those are actually coming from, different dive sites here in the Philippines. Malapascua is one of my favorites. One of my favorites here in the Philippines. 95% probability if you'll be able to see treasure sharks. It's just that you really have to wake up early in the morning. You have to be up by 4. You have to be in the water already by 5 a.m. And diving is finished before sunrise.
So do you think being a diver, like I also have friends who went to Malapascua and went to the treasure sharks. You have to wake up early and then you have to wait for a good season for it, and then you have to wait underwater for the treasure sharks to go out. How does that relate to like being you? Did it affect how you do your work, how you are as vice president of Eastern Communications?
I think it's more about I've been exploring the world since, I guess, for the past 10, 15 years, but more on exploring underwater. And I guess it's also reflected how I want to explore and do more and challenge the status quo and really drive the transformation. And it's more of the guts that I have in me that I believe I'm able to demonstrate also to the company.
So would you consider that what's one of the mentor that gave you a life lesson that has struck you?
One of my early bosses when I was in my early 20s, it's all about, I can remember what he told me. Service is an attitude.
Service is an attitude.
Service is an attitude. Service is not just about action. It's all about mindset. It's about the way we are when we deliver service, not only to our family, but especially to our clients. It must be wholehearted, and it must be not really one way, but it must always inspire towards it must always drive inspiration towards the other people as well. So, and whenever I talk about service mindset also to my team, internally to our company, and the way we drive the service transformation mindset also within for initially within product and innovation team, we were all talking about what's gonna be the business outcomes that our services will deliver to our end customers. Just I guess that's about a year ago, when we were heavily driving on the customer success mindset also within Eastern. When we talk about the customer success, again, it's a combination of both customer experience and customer outcomes, right? And that is where we're able to really demonstrate and the to reap the business benefits out of doing these services.
Yeah. So that's really different. Service as an attitude. That's the first time I heard of that, and yeah, I get what you mean. It becomes a part. It becomes a part of your company's culture if you think of it that way. No, how do you think your educational background has shaped the leader that you are today? Or
I guess it's more of when I was in high school. I wanted to uh, don't laugh at me. I wanted to be a priest when I for when I was younger. It's either be a priest or be a doctor of medicine. So I entered the seminary for 4 years, um, and hoping that I would be a priest someday. But plans change, and then here I am, an engineer.
God has other plans. God has other plans for you. Yeah. If you can describe your early career in one word, what would it be and why?
I would say grateful. Not really a description of my career, but how I describe the progress of my career, the progression of my career. I would describe it as being grateful. Grateful for all the opportunities that were offered to me. Grateful for the different companies that I worked for. Grateful for the bosses that I've had, and grateful for the people that surround me.
It's so good that you really have a positive mindset about all of these things. And for you, what was the biggest lesson your first boss or maybe one of your bosses had, and how has that life lesson changed your trajectory in life, career wise?
I had these two bosses that really impacted how I act today. The first one is the one I told you about, having that service mindset, which is very much aligned with how our company is delivering the quality of services today as well. Exceeding expectations. That is our theme for 2025. And in fact, it's not just a theme, but that's the embodiment of what we wanted to showcase and what we really deliver to our market. So it's the service mindset. Second is my current boss today, attorney Aileen Reo. She's a paradoxical blend of, how I call that, personal humility and professional will. If you really want to do it, just do it, but still grounded.
Yeah. So, like, the bosses you've dealt with are not those like demanding types. Do you think they're much more? They let you like have your own wings as well. They let you
Yeah,
try to do things.
definitely, definitely. Yeah.
That's something. Something really great to have. No, that they don't like shove things in your throat. They like expect a certain results and outcome. As long as you can deliver, that's good enough. Can you share how you personally handle work-related setbacks? Is there really such a thing as forgetting about it and just moving forward? Or
I think it's more about uh, reflected in my leadership style. I'm more into participative leadership. Um, have you encountered the six thinking hats? Six thinking hats is one of the concepts that I've been implementing for the past 2 years, I guess, which is very effective. Well, in the Filipino setting, usually when you have a meeting, many of your teammates are just keeping quiet, or sometimes even if you're offering one opinion, the people look at you as the boss and infallible.
yeah, like yes, sir, mentality. Like the bosses that want to be like challenged.
Correct.
Yes, yes.
So that's there's also that infallible mindset for some of the managers and the bosses, right? But what's important here is when you start, since I started the Six Thinking Hats initiative or program within the team, so I'm I'm assigning six different roles. Usually, my role is I'm the blue hat. I'm the one which is after the process. White hat's the one which is only after the facts. Nobody will comment anything except the fact, like, aside from the facts, except the one assigned to wear the white hat. Then there is one assigned to wear the yellow hat, meaning if I give an idea, his role is only to support that particular idea, only to say yes and explore the different opinions also or insights why they have to support that idea. But equally important is assigning somebody having that black hat. Black hat is the one that will raise the caution, the ones that will raise possible red flags that I don't see. And what's important there is that it's an amalgamation of the different insights, so that again at the end of the day, people who will say no to your idea is some sort of rewarded for raising the red flags, giving the cautions, and helping provide the antithesis and hence synthesizing better the ideas.
So where did you learn about this six hats mindset? Is it like from a book? Is it as a theory you read?
From YouTube.
From YouTube.
I got it from YouTube. Been struggling, especially when, during pandemic, online meetings, and I guess many of us have also experienced this. Sometimes it becomes a one-way communication, right, during the meetings. And also very typical of Asians, not only Filipinos, very typical of Asians, not to react heavily or negatively to one idea, especially if the idea is coming from somebody there, right? But then again, because again, there's a scare that it will be taken against them. But then if you're going to reward people who will object your idea or assign personalities that will really react to your idea, then people will be tended to be motivated to really think better.
Does it like change per project, or is that hat assigned to like because you're the like you're into the legal aspects, so you always wear the black hat? Is it like that, or does it shift per project or per meeting? How does it?
It depends on the topic. It depends on the topic. Sometimes there's one personality, for example, who's always tended to react negatively, right? So sometimes I assign him as a yellow hat. You have yeah, your assignment is not to react negatively, but to support the idea and help me, nurture this idea more. So it's actually rotating, and it depends on what particular topic we're talking about. So I can assign who's better negative reactor here.
So it also like trains them to be more a bit more maybe positive thinking, to be more, if this person is just too positive, to be a bit more cautious, like
Correct.
that's really a great way, no? That's yeah, so that's a really good insight as well. I'll try to do that in my business as well. Do you remember the first time you ever sat down with a client? How did it go down? Was it kinakabahan? Baka were you really scared? What did that experience teach you?
The best first meeting with a client that I can't remember, that I can't forget, was I was already a sales guy that time. Well, it's not the first time that I met the client, but one of my first meeting when I was doing sales, that was 15 years ago, together with my boss. I think I prepared for that meeting, but I just had my phone
Okay.
with me. And after the meeting, my boss told me, never do that again.
Because like you kept on glancing or something, or you just held it or something?
Don't ever face your customer without any notebook.
Oh.
Bring notebook, bring notes always with you. Whether you're simply, jotting down whatever, it will create a very good perception that you're listening to your customer and you're taking their, statements very seriously. And from then on, I usually bring my notebook, whether I'm writing something or not. The perception is always the reality. I always believe that perception is always the reality, and whatever kind of perception that you are creating from others about you, chances are that's the reality.
It's really good. No? So always bring a notebook and a pen as well.
And a pen.
Because yeah, we might
Yeah.
have the notebook but not a pen. But like in this day and age where people jot out in their iPhone, do you think that's also a good way? Or it's still better to do it the old fashioned way, to bring a pen and
I think I'm old school.
yeah, old school. Sometimes old school gives a better impression.
Yeah.
No? What trait do you think is the most important to have for you to survive and become successful in the telecommunications industry in the Philippines?
I guess it's openness to change. This openness to change. You cannot lead and be a visionary if you are not open to change. Challenging the status quo is something which I think that's part of my strengths, and I get bored easily if it's over and over. You do things over and over again, and that's part of the transformation that we're bringing in as well. We've been in this industry for 146 years, and we've been offering connectivity ever since. But way back 20 late 2017, 2018, when we started expanding our portfolio because the market demands for more than just the connectivity. So we brought in locally hosted cloud, the first locally hosted cloud in the Philippines, that's the Eastern Cloud, together with all other ICT solutions. And that's part of the transformation and challenging the status quo on how we conduct business.
So Edsel, but you mentioned you've been in the telecommunications or in the electronics industry for all your life. So you really saw the change from like the telephone,
Yeah,
the dial up internet, DSL cloud, etc. To cloud now.
definitely.
Is it like better now? I think it's better now, or is it too fast right now? Or
One thing is funny though, Harold. One thing is funny. I remember I was in my early 20s. I was teaching in school.
teacher as well?
Yeah, I was teaching in engineering, and part of my seminars that time, I was giving them the roadmap of the mobile communications, and I was working for Nokia before. And I remember telling my students something that I don't even know if I would believe what I was telling them. I was telling class, there will come a time that you will no longer use your phone like this, but you will use your phone.
It's happening right now. Yeah.
I couldn't even believe myself if that will really happen or not. But that was around 20 years ago.
Well, so things really have changed, no? So you must really be quick to adopt,
Yeah.
especially in your industry, no? So how do you define a good leader? Do you think there is such things as natural leaders, or are they developed?
I think both. There are natural leaders. We see some people who are as young as, in the class barangay yet, right? During our elementary days, really born leaders. But I have to tell that that time I didn't see myself leading a team. Was really very introvert person. And it was a conscious effort for me to develop myself as well. Coming from the province, I was certified from the. So when I went to Manila, it was also not very easy for me to mingle with my classmates in college, right? So I had to choose for another from these as well as part of my circle because I don't know how to interact. I couldn't really speak English. I mean, came from mababang paaralan in Oriental Mindoro, things like that. But as as a response to developing the leader, yes, there are natural leaders, definitely, but everybody can be a good leader. Consciously developing yourself to be a good leader,
So you think being an introvert is not a hindrance to be a good leader? Like you can still be a good leader even if you're an introvert
as long as you have to realize that you have to do something about it.
and you develop yourself
Yeah.
about it. Yeah. If you can have a quick chat with any influential person or leader in the world, who would it be and why?
I'm always amazed with Colin Powell. Used to be the Secretary of State of the U.S. during, I think, President George W. Bush time. Amazed with what he said about his formula for failure and not having a formula for success. He was saying, "I cannot offer you a formula for success, but I can offer you a formula for failure. Please, everybody."
Okay, you get. So if you try to please everybody, that's a sure thing to failure. That's what he's trying to say.
True enough.
True. Yeah, true enough. Now that we've tackled your success as a leader, can you share with us moments where you believed you have failed as a leader? What have you done to ensure that these failures are never repeated?
I I am so immersed with my team. Every time I develop somebody or a team, I feel so bad if my team member leaves me. And there were times when my teammates leave me. Every time they leave me, I feel so it's a failure on my part. That I was not able to, make them stay with the company after developing, especially the Gen Zs and the millennials. that you spent your time and the effort to develop these people. I find it as a failure initially because everybody is saying people leave the company that because of the company, but because of the boss. So I took it very seriously. Are these people leaving the company because of itself? But then again, we can just be happy for them if they're able to see greener pastures somewhere else. Then I think their success is considered already to be a success as well.
What do you think Eastern Communications does differently from its competitors to make sure it remains competitive in today's telecommunication and ICT business landscape?
Competitiveness, let me talk about that. It's a two-prong when we talk about competitive when it comes to commercially competitive. Yes, in nowadays when we talk about telecommunications or IT solutions, everybody's always driving for a lower price. Everybody's cutting costs, right? Just yesterday I was in a meeting with one CIO of a BPO company and asking our help. How can Eastern help me out to reduce my spending? So being competitive is being able to deliver outcomes to our customers, business outcomes when it comes to cost savings, business outcomes when it comes to efficiencies and etc. Okay. And when it comes to commercial competitiveness, that's what I believe that we are able to support and keep on the top as well. That's one thing. Second is the quality of how we deliver our service. Well, we have now a wide range of portfolios from connectivity to the different ICT solutions. What's important is we'll be able to support them not only during the pre-sales and the selling phase, but most especially afterwards. So from time to time, I keep on reviewing the different delighters of our products. There's a delighters. I mean, there's a concept in product management called KANO model. KANO. KANO model says that every product can become a commodity in the future. Any product will become a commodity in the future. And you cannot stay competitive if you will just join them, this commodity play. You have to always find what's the delighter to your product. But the thing is, if you put some delighters in your product today, everybody else will copy. And that will become part of the basics already. So you always have to keep up what are the additional delighters that you have to deliver to your customers. So I think it's more about number one, again, competitiveness when it comes to commercial proposals, commercial offers, but equally important, the quality of the products and solutions that we offer and the quality of service, which is really one of the biggest delighters of our services.
In Eastern Communication, how crucial has technological innovation been for your company? Was there discussions of fear of being way too ahead of your time? How do you balance this now?
It's a really balancing thing. Eastern Communications has been very aggressive in this past 10 years when it comes to embracing and adapting to new technologies. Not only how we operate our network, not only how we operate using our own tools, but basically with these new technologies in offering to our market.
Okay. Could you expound more? Or is it something
Okay, first, about this for internal thing. We have the biggest and the longest submarine cable network in the Philippines. Eastern is part of that consortium that builds the biggest and the longest submarine cable. And the technology that we apply is a self-healing technology. It's a self-healing thing. And that's we're one of the first or one of the few operators in the Philippines that have applied the self-healing in our network. So if there's a fiber cut here, automatically our network has that intelligence to reroute with the shortest possible path so that at least the traffic still or the service still is up and running. So that's one thing, and we were able to complete that project 2 years ago, and that's the reason why our network nationwide, especially in the key CBDs, has been very resilient. For example, here we powered Cebu. We used to have a single network from Manila to Cebu, but now we're operating in a multiple rings already, not only within Metro Cebu, but connecting Cebu to the different islands in the Philippines.
so there's like redundancy in your
Correct.
cable network?
Correct. So that's one thing for our internal network. But of course, another one is how we are offering our new services to our customers. Again, always driven on what kind of business outcomes will this deliver to our customers. We've been very passionate about that business outcomes thing because selling is not just doesn't stop when you recognize the revenue, right? It is a continuous cycle that we always have to consider what's gonna be next after the contract expires. And it's very easy for the customer to churn out if they don't see value in the services that we are selling. So for example, if you are a BPO, we ensure that you operate 24 by 7 by 365 days. If we offer cybersecurity, for example, we don't just offer cybersecurity solution, but the peace of mind so you can sleep better at night, that nobody is going to attack your data center or your website, etc. Right? We sell Eastern Cloud, for example. What's the promise? We'll be able to make your connectivity to the cloud faster because it's locally hosted in the Philippines. So these are the business outcomes that we want to realize as much as possible after we close the deal.
So you offer a broad range of solutions for your clients as well. So Eastern Communications has also been open to important partnerships. How do you pick the right partners for your company's growth? How crucial are partnerships in taking the company to the next level?
Partnerships, that's part of the responsibility also of the product and innovation team. Well, not only the product, but we have marketing partners, we have network partners, we have partners for HR partners. But when it comes to partnership for product delivery or product offering, we tap technology partners and the leading um, technology partners from abroad. We have technology partners from different continents, from Israel, from the US, from China, and of course that should be able to cater to different market demands. We also have technology partners domestically. There are some products and services that are niche offering of a particular services arm, and that's where we are also tapping the services and partnering with other local providers. One of the good things also that happened in the past 3 years, well, this was during pandemic, when we conceptualized the horizontal integration with with a customer,
Horizontal integration within customer. Yeah.
quote unquote
Very-
horizontal integration with a customer, competitor, and a partner in one. Eastern Cloud. Okay. Let me explain more about this. So we offer Eastern Cloud, but there's another partner. There's another competitor that offers the same cloud here in the Philippines. We are providing them internet, and we are offering their services as our geo-redundant cloud offering. And they are also offering our cloud as a geo-redundancy for their cloud offering. So it's like we are offering one bigger whole solution to our customers, but in a way, we are also powering up their cloud because their connectivity is also via Eastern.
So you're saying right now that your competitors can also be your partners. It's now don't always have to look at them as your enemies. You can always partner with them in some
Yeah.
way or form.
Yeah.
basically.
Systems integrators, even other service providers. There's a strong and vibrant community among the local telco providers and different systems integrators, and we continue to cooperate and yet compete.
It's always about being a friendly competitor.
Yeah.
So Eastern Communication is also known for their strong support for MSMEs. Why do you think this is important for your company?
We operate as a 2B company or B2B company, from large scale enterprises down to the SMB market, SME, MSME, and even residential. MSME or SMB market is a big chunk of the market here in the Philippines. And a lot of the big chunk of this is still untapped by bigger service providers. And that's really part of our strategy to be able to bring in transformation through the telco and ICT solutions to this SMB market. It's a good realization, especially during pandemic. We have established a very good strategy in order for us to help the SMBs, such that, like for example, we want to ensure that technology is not only monopolized, by the big enterprise. I mean, when we talk about transformation, for example, that looks very sexy, that sounds very sexy. Everybody wants to do that, but sometimes it's at the expense of, right? But then again, the SMB deserve to enjoy the benefits of technology as well. So what we do is we're able to, bring out solutions, offer solutions that will make technology more affordable for our SMB market, be it in connectivity, or in any other ICT solutions, and even providing cybersecurity for the SMB market. I usually tell this when I ask for interview or when I give lectures. Last pandemic, there was a research by Huawei saying that around 70 to 80% of the attacks are targeted towards the SMB market. So imagine that.
70-80% are packed towards the
SMB.
SMB market.
So imagine that, right? But these are the vulnerable, segment because, well, cybersecurity is really very cheap. It's not really very. It's not really.
Yeah.
It's not really very cheap, right? So we have to discover that opportunities, or we have to discover the different ways on how we're able to make it affordable for the SMB. So that's just one thing, cybersecurity. But there are also some other approaches that we've been doing. For example, partnering with the local service providers, local ISPs, local cable TV operators. So we equip them, we enable them using our internet so that they can empower, their companies as well, by reselling the internet provided by ISA. So we don't compete head on with the local service providers. We give them the resources in order for them to become more successful in their businesses.
So you do, so that you do like bulk, it's like bulk selling or
Correct,
something,
yeah.
something like that, yeah. So what are your Eastern Communications plan for Cebu for the next, let's say, 5-10 years?
The plan for Cebu is basically the same as our plan nationwide. We have completed I mentioned earlier, we have completed our
Redundancy.
submarine cable,
Self-healing submarine.
self-healing submarine cable, very resilient network, and part of which is really strengthening our position in the regional areas, specifically Cebu. So it's not only connectivity, but making it sure that we partner with the chambers, the different organizations, especially here in Cebu, so that we'll be able to approach the market even better and support the market even better. Again, not only in connectivity, but also in the new technologies. We've been talking about AI, we've been talking about IoT, and these are also part of our foresight in the future.
But sometimes, as you mentioned, sometimes you have to think further ahead now because AI and IoT, my baby, a thing of the past.
Already,
Already.
already. I remember we had this. We have this transcend. We have this conference. We call it Transcend. A couple of months ago, one of our speakers from BPO was saying, the worst IT that will ever have. I know the worst AI that we'll ever have is the AI of today.
Because it's always changing and upgrading.
Yeah, very impactful.
Why is your partnership with the Cebu Chamber of Commerce and Industry and support for Cebu Business Month crucial for your company's growth?
We are able to be successful in Cebu, mainly because of the Chamber of Commerce here in Cebu. And that speaks for our relationship. And that relationship will definitely stay longer. With a wide range of industries and memberships of the chamber here, this definitely helps us out growing our business in Cebu. And we do hope that we'll be able to provide also value to the chamber.
With the advent of technology, how will Eastern Communications keep your call to bring back the human connection in the business of communication technology?
We always operate on a high-tech and high-touch company. It's not just a slogan, but it's what we live for. High tech, we embrace the new technologies not only for our own operations, but how we support our market as well, but ensure that we are also a high touch company. All the services are always personalized from sales, pre sales, and even after sales. We are a telco company that if you have a problem, you don't talk to a robot.
Yes,
You don't talk to a bot, but you talk to a real person.
yes. That's a common problem now. It's all usually call centers or chatbots that you have
Although
something.
we acknowledge the fact that they do help in the productivity of our business centers or call centers.
Fearless forecast. 20 years from now, do you think Eastern Communications will stay on top and why?
With all the investments that we've been doing in our network, with our people, in our organization, I have no doubt that we will stay on top within the next 5 to 20 years.
How can you explain Eastern Communications to like grade schoolers?
We are an internet and Wi-Fi thing.
Internet and Wi-Fi thing. So if you could travel to any country tomorrow, right now, where would you want to go and why?
I want to go back to Galapagos.
Galapagos Island, yeah.
I miss the great hammerheads there, the schooling of the great hammer.
So it's still back to scuba diving as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the Philippines, which city do you plan to go diving again here in the country?
I've been practically in all diving sites
All diving sites.
here in the Philippines, but if I'm gonna go back again, probably it's to Bataha.
To Bataha Reef, the one in Palawan.
It's been 5 years since my last visit to Bataha.
Yeah, Palawan. They say the last frontier of the Philippines na. What was the last book that you've read and what lessons did you learn from it?
Good to great.
Good to great. Yeah.
Good to great. I mean, it's an old book that I keep on reading. Not really from start to finish, but parcel by parcel. And a lot of learnings and again, realization. Sometimes I forget, especially when we talk about choose the right people on the bus first before you make your own vision and strategy.
Yeah, that's something one of our members here keep on saying as well, Bunny Pahes, you must put the right people in the right seats of the bus.
Correct.
That's
Yeah.
really important. What was your favorite subject back in high school or maybe college?
I guess it was Latin.
Latin. So you can speak Latin. Like you can read like the traditional Bibles or
Because that's part, we have 2 years of Latin
yeah.
language in the seminary.
Yeah. So you can understand like Pater Noster, ganun.
Understand, not really very fluently. Okay, but we have good set of vocabularies.
Wow.
So third year is just basic Latin. Fourth year, ecclesiastical Latin. So the Latin used in the church.
So let's go back to diving. Do you usually dive alone? Is it with a group? You have a like dive groups? It's like diving expeditions. Yeah.
I dive solo and I dive in a group. But when I plan diving, I don't depend mainly on my group.
Yes.
I just do the planning because whether I dive solo, I travel solo, definitely I can meet new friends in those places. I don't really dive solo, but
Okay.
I can travel solo and go to a place where I can meet new friends and dive together. But I also dive with my friends. But again, when I plan for my diving, I don't depend on the availability of my group. So I just tell them I'm going here this month. Who wants to join me. If you can join, I will still go.
Kaya na bala, no? So is there like a dive site you haven't gone to nice? You really want to go or like you've been to everywhere, so it doesn't matter.
South Africa.
South Africa, it's with the white sharks?
I really want to see the sardine run.
But there's one in Walbal. Is it
I
different?
mean,
It's
it's a real sardine run.
the
The real sardine run is when the sardines are being chased by the orcas, by the dolphins, even by the birds during that migration of sardines from the cold place to the warmer place. So that only happens one season in a year. And it's not really very easy to get there and to experience that because number one, it's really pricey. You have to charter a chopper, get the service of the chopper because they will be the spotters. Hahanapin muna nila where the action is. Then they will, call you by radio. Oh, there's one happening over there. Then with a speedboat, we go to that spot or they go to that spot and witness whatever action they have.
That sounds so thrilling, no? Pero don't you get scared because it's like out in the open. I'm just imagining it like out in the open. It's like going to a safari, diba na? It's like all natural and everything. Don't you get like scared, fearful, or like
That's part of the game. Yeah, that's part of the game. I'm still scared every time I see sharks. I'm still scared.
yeah? But I think your passion for it.
Yeah, I remember when I was in the Bahamas. It was our 6th day already of diving and 6th day of seeing the hammerhead sharks. Then one time I was the first one to don my wetsuit. Then the dive master was telling me, "Okay, Edsel, you can start now. You can jump." You've been here for 5 days already. At least if we are together, then the sharks will be confused who to attack first. But again, it was a joke. They don't attack.
Yeah, hopefully, I should take up diving and call you so we can dive together soon. Edsel, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being our guest. I hope our audience learns a lot from this podcast. All right, that's it for Padayon Podcast episode with Eastern Communications Vice President Engineer Edsel Paglinawan. This has been Harold Vinci saying goodbye and Padayon Cebu. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Harold.
Thank you so much.